The night was cold, the kind of cold that cuts through layers and sinks into your bones. Dr. Kenji Tanaka had just finished a 16-hour shift at St. Mary's Medical Center. He was tired, emotionally drained, and ready to collapse into bed. But as he walked toward the staff parking lot, something caught his eye. A figure huddled under a thin blanket near the loading dock, curled against the concrete wall. At first, Kenji thought it was just another shadow in the night. Then the figure moved. A man, shoes worn thin, jacket 2 sizes too small, face hidden beneath a knit cap. Kenji paused. He knew this hospital served a hard-hit area, and it wasn't uncommon to see people down on their luck nearby. But something about this man made him stop. Quietly, he stepped closer. "You all right, sir?" he asked gently. The man didn't flinch. He just nodded slowly. "Cold," he mumbled. "Didn't mean no trouble. Just needed somewhere safe." Kenji's eyes softened. "Are you hurt?" "No, Doc," the man rasped. "I've had worse." He said Doc without even looking up. That's when Kenji noticed the man's posture, the clipped way he spoke. It wasn't fear. It was discipline. Familiar. "Were you in the military?" Kenji asked. The man nodded. "Army. Long time ago." Kenji crouched down and extended his hand. "I'm Dr. Tanaka." "What's your name?" "Reggie," the man said. "Reggie Moore." That's when everything began to change. Reggie Moore had no intention of letting a stranger help him, especially not some fancy doctor in a white coat. He'd seen kindness before, and he'd seen how fast it disappeared when it got inconvenient. But Dr. Tanaka didn't walk away. Instead, he said something unexpected. "I'm the son of a veteran. My father served in Vietnam. He always said, 'No soldier gets left behind.' Let me help you, Reggie." That sentence hit harder than the wind. Reggie looked up, really looked, and for the first time in days, maybe weeks, he saw respect in someone's eyes. Not pity, not fear, just honest human concern. Kenji offered to bring him inside. Reggie refused at first. "Hospitals don't like folks like me hanging around," he said. But Kenji promised he'd vouch for him. That night, he got Reggie into an empty triage room, handed him a hot cup of coffee, and called in a favor from the social worker on the night shift. As Reggie sipped, Kenji asked him about his story. Reggie had served 2 tours in Iraq. Came home with injuries, physical and invisible. PTSD, nerve damage, night terrors that never quite left. He bounced around odd jobs, stayed with family, until pride drove him away, then spiraled into homelessness after a minor arrest cost him a job. "Systems not built for folks like me to bounce back," Reggie said. "Especially not when you're old, black, and broken." Kenji didn't argue. He just listened. By morning, Reggie had a place in a local transitional housing program, thanks to Kenji's connections and a social worker willing to work miracles on little sleep. But Kenji didn't stop there. He drove Reggie to his intake appointment himself, bought him fresh clothes, set him up with a VA caseworker he trusted, and every few days, he checked in. It was supposed to be one act of kindness, but something deeper was forming, a quiet friendship, born not from charity, but mutual respect. Weeks passed, and Reggie's life began to shift in small, powerful ways. With Kenji's help, he was enrolled in therapy through the VA, something he had avoided for years. "I don't need someone poking around in my head," he used to say. But the quiet encouragement from Dr. Tanaka wore down his walls. Reggie started opening up about the war, about losing his unit sergeant to an IED, about the guilt that clung to him like smoke. He talked about how coming home didn't feel like coming home at all. And Dr. Tanaka just listened. When Reggie missed a therapy session, Kenji noticed. When Reggie forgot to eat, Kenji showed up with hot noodles from a nearby ramen shop. Still, Reggie never let him do too much. "I don't want your pity," he said one night. "This isn't pity," Kenji replied. "It's respect." You fought for people like me before you even knew me. Now, it's my turn." Those words stuck. One afternoon after a routine checkup, Reggie said something he hadn't in years. "You know, Doc, maybe I'm not done yet." Kenji tilted his head. "What do you mean?" "I mean, maybe I've got something left to give." And he did. Reggie started volunteering at the same housing shelter that took him in, helping new arrivals find their footing, fixing leaky sinks, running group chats with other vets. He became a voice of calm for men battling demons of their own. Word spread. A local reporter did a short feature on the once homeless veteran turned peer mentor. Kenji appeared briefly in the piece, refusing to take credit. "I didn't save him," he said. "I just reminded him who he already was." The video went viral in the community, but neither of them knew just how far it would go or what was coming next. The video gained traction quickly, first on the local news station's website, then on social media. Within days, it had thousands of shares. Comments poured in from people who had seen Reggie around town, from fellow veterans, and from complete strangers. But the message was the same: this man deserves the world. One morning, Dr. Tanaka received an email from the director of a national nonprofit that specialized in veteran reintegration. They'd seen the video. They wanted to help. By the end of the week, Reggie had been invited to speak at a citywide veterans event, his first time on a stage since he wore a uniform. Nervous but proud, he stood in front of hundreds of people and shared his story. "I was a soldier once. Then, I was a ghost on the street. But someone saw me, reminded me I mattered. And now, I get to do that for others." The crowd gave him a standing ovation. That single moment snowballed into more speaking invites, more outreach, even a job offer coordinating local veteran outreach at a nonprofit he used to visit for meals. Reggie took it. For the first time in a long time, he had a steady paycheck, a reason to wake up in the morning, a purpose. He and Dr. Tanaka remained close. Their friendship deepened beyond doctor and patient. They became brothers in spirit. They celebrated birthdays together. They talked about faith, fear, healing. And then something happened that neither of them saw coming. Kenji was nominated for a humanitarian award. At the ceremony, he stood next to Reggie as his name was called. But when he stepped up to the podium, he turned and handed the plaque to Reggie. "This belongs to him," he said. I gave him a cup of coffee and a ride. He gave me a reminder of what true courage looks like. The room went quiet, then exploded with applause. Reggie smiled quietly, eyes glassy with emotion. He whispered to Kenji, "This is wild, man." Kenji grinned. "It's just the beginning." 1 year later, Reggie stood at the grand opening of a new Veterans Outreach Center, a place designed for transitional housing, mental health support, and job training. The sign above the entrance read, "The Reggie Moore Resource Center, in honor of service, strength, and second chances," funded by community donations and built with the support of the nonprofit that had embraced his story. The center stood as a living monument to what could happen when someone chooses to see the forgotten. At the ribbon-cutting ceremony, Reggie wore a navy blue suit and a lapel pin with the U.S. Army crest. Kenji stood beside him, quietly beaming with pride. During his speech, Reggie looked out at the crowd, local leaders, veterans, students, community members, and took a long breath. "I was a statistic once, a man sleeping outside a hospital with nothing but a backpack and a broken past. Then one person asked me if I was okay. Just one. He didn't look like me, didn't know me, but he cared. And that changed everything." He turned to Kenji and added softly, "This center may have my name on it, but its heart belongs to us." After the applause, the two men walked inside, not as patient and doctor, not as veteran and civilian, but as brothers bonded by something deeper than fate. And every time someone new walks through those doors, looking for help, Reggie is there with a steady hand, and the same words Dr. Tanaka once said to him. No soldier gets left behind. If this story moved, you don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss more powerful true stories like this. Leave a comment below. What act of kindness changed your life? And we'll see you in the next video, where another ordinary moment becomes unforgettable. Until then, keep believing in second chances